The game never stops, and neither do we. Welcome to the SDH Network. We're always around the corner from everywhere. Good morning. It's time for another edition of the Morning Espresso, brought to you by Oglethorpe University, Atlanta's premier undergraduate learning experience and soccer powerhouse. I'm Jason Longshore, and today's one of those days where it feels like Atlanta is right at and I feel like this should almost be a trademarked phrase at this point, the epicenter of the soccer map. We've got big US men's national team news to talk about, a new headline act for Decatur WatchFest 26, Barcelona putting down a marker in LaLiga, global headlines, we've got World Cup updates, we've got MLS front office moves, we've got UEFA Women's Nations League news. We've got financial shockwaves in France, a Cinderella story in Brazil. Let's dive in. Pour yourself a cup, and let's get started with the U.S. men's national team coming home to Atlanta. It's a really cool story. The USMNT is going to play 2 matches in March as part of their push towards the 2026 World Cup at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. March 28th, the U.S. will face Belgium at 3:30 p.m. 3 days later, March 31st, it's Portugal at 7 p.m. Now, these are pretty big friendlies. These are 2 teams that are in pot 1 in the World Cup draw, 2 teams that the U.S. cannot draw for the group stage. That's why these games get announced now. Belgium has been a team that maybe is on the backside of being one of the best teams out of Europe. Portugal has won the Euro in 2016. Cristiano Ronaldo is still a major figure in the game. They are another team that is right under that elite grouping. Very technical, one of the most technically gifted teams on the planet, both of them, honestly. And both will be stepping into the Benz. This is a big moment for Atlanta as the new home for U.S. soccer, literally and maybe symbolically as well. The Arthur M. Blank National Training Center is rising and could be, I don't know if it's fully functional by these games, but I think it'll be functional. I think the idea was April that had been previously announced, so would not be surprised to see the team train there. If not, they could train at Atlanta United's training facility. Mauricio Pochettino said it himself. We're so happy to be playing in our new home of Atlanta. The other cool thing about this, and I've never heard of something like this happening. I'm sure it has somewhere around the United States, but Atlanta United season ticket holders will get the Belgium match. This is part of a partnership with U.S. Soccer and Atlanta United. The Belgium game will be Game 18 in Atlanta United's season ticket package this season. More details coming to inboxes of season ticket holders later this week. That's really cool. That Game 18 has typically been a playoff game or an Open Cup game or a CONCACAF game or a Leagues Cup game. It's going to be a U.S. men's national team game this time around. That's very cool. Seems to have been a really good reaction from the fan base on that one. Tickets will go on sale to the general public on Friday at 10 a.m. on Ticketmaster. Demand should be pretty big. There's more. The U.S. will play Germany in Chicago in June as their last match before the World Cup gets started. They will play a friendly in Charlotte at the end of May. It's a really good schedule for the U.S. as they get ready to host the World Cup this upcoming summer. Speaking of this upcoming summer, Decatur WatchFest 26. It is going to be a month plus long, the entire run of the World Cup. A festival with watch parties, with events, with music, and they've added another headliner. We'd mentioned Big Boy opening the Decatur WatchFest on the first day of the World Cup. We now know who's going to close it out, and it's a hometown favorite, the Indigo Girls. They will close out the World Cup festivities on July 19th. Free concert on the Decatur Square. Emily Sailors and Amy Ray, legendary performers. They said playing in Decatur during the World Cup is their way of saying thank you to a city that has shaped them. It's just a perfect hometown moment. That's what I love about it is it's you know, these two artists in Big Boy and Indigo Girls, which are as different as you can get musically, they call this area home, and both have Decatur ties. So the roots are deep. You got the global stage. You got the community-focused celebration. It's going to be a blast. Can't wait to see what else is coming from Decatur WatchFest. I'm sure there's plenty more to come. Keep an eye on their website. Make sure you're following them. We here at SDH have shared the announcement from this morning, so you can find them and follow Decatur WatchFest. 34 days of watch parties, music, local talent, all kinds of things going on in Decatur, where it's always greater, right? That's coming up this summer. Let's move around the world now as we get caught up on what's been going on in the soccer world. We'll go to Spain first. 3-1 win for Barcelona over Atlético Madrid. This is the sixth straight win for Barcelona since their loss to Real Madrid, and Barca has passed them. They're now 4 points clear at the top of LaLiga. Rafinha was everywhere. He scored the equalizer after Atleti opened the scoring. His energy, his movement. Pedri was big coming back, bringing some control in the midfield. Dani Olmo scored before injuring his shoulder, another injury for Barcelona. Ferran Torres, he sealed it late. Diego Simeone, the manager of Atleti, he even said afterwards that he can't believe that Rafinha has not won a Ballon d'Or and other major individual awards. This is a statement kind of win for Barcelona. After that loss to Real Madrid, maybe there were a few questions about could this Barca team, and I know everybody talks about the high line and has histrionics over it. They keep doing things like this. You're not going to be talking about high lines. You're going to be talking about trophies, and that's where this team could be headed. We're going to find out. Real Madrid plays Athletic Club in Bilbao today. Big pressure on Madrid to close that gap back down to a point. And there's some more rumblings out of the Madrid press about issues between the players and Xabi Alonso. This is the sixth straight game on the road for Real Madrid, and they went to Bilbao yesterday, so the players were not happy about having to go to Bilbao a day early. They would have liked to have had the extra day to stay at home. Right now, Madrid is traveling to their league matches on the day of the match. Wish that was something we could do in MLS. It's not really possible with the amount of travel that we deal with, but I digress. We'll see if they don't start to get some wins, you're going to start to hear more of these rumblings about things with Xabi Alonso and Real Madrid. Let's come back to the States for some World Cup updates. Friday's World Cup draw in Washington, D.C. at the Kennedy Center is going to be a show, literally. Andrea Bocelli, Robbie Williams, and Nicole Scherzinger, and the Village People complete one of the strangest musical setups that I've ever seen, but that's typical for these events, right? Hollywood hosts Heidi Klum, Kevin Hart, former Oglethorpe University soccer player and actor/producer Danny Ramirez, all going to be part of the hosting of this event. We've got full day coverage from Benchwarmers in Decatur, from the Brewhouse Cafe, from Nofo Brewing in Gainesville, on 92.9 The Game and the Odyssey app, all over the SDH platforms. So much to come on Friday. Another bit of news about the World Cup, or at least maybe rumors, but the better way to put it. FIFA is pushing for an expanded VAR trial at the World Cup, giving the video assistant referees the ability to confirm corner kicks, making sure it should be a corner instead of them getting a corner they shouldn't have gotten, and second yellow cards. They would use the new Adidas ball on the corner kick situation that would detect the last touch instantly, so there wouldn't be a delay. IFAB has resisted this, but FIFA can jump them and say they're going to do a trial of these things at their own events. We'll see. The second yellow cards, they absolutely should, in my opinion, because that is a red card. You're not checking first yellow cards. You're just checking the second yellow card. I'm okay with that expansion, no problem. At the World Cup, if the ball gives you the ability to very quickly tell who touched it last, I'm okay with that if it's not going to add extra time. Corner kicks are big deals now, especially in these kind of tournaments, so you want to make sure you're getting that call right. I'm all for trying to figure out the process to add that. Hopefully they can figure it out quickly. Off the field news, a bipartisan bill will be introduced today that would authorize $50 million per year in infrastructure funding for major events, including the 2026 and 2031 World Cups, the Olympics, et cetera, et cetera. Huge potential implications for Atlanta's transportation planning going forward, as they will be part of both of those World Cups and potentially Copa America. We'll see if that would fall under this as well. Mexico, the Estadio Azteca will reopen in March as Mexico will host Portugal, and then they will face Belgium in Chicago. So Belgium and Portugal coming over to play the U.S. and Mexico next March. The renovated stadium, the renovated Estadio Azteca, will become the first ever to host 3 World Cup opening matches. Busy times around MLS as MLS Cup awaits on Saturday. New York City has appointed Todd Dunavant as their new sporting director after his strong run building the Sacramento Republic. Nashville, they continue mining Scandinavia with the signing of Ghanaian center back Maxwell Woledzi. Chicago Fire, they have added South African defender Mbekzeli Mbokazi to a U22 initiative slot. Can't wait for the corrected pronunciation on that. Mbokazi has been part of the South African national team and could be part of their World Cup squad next summer. According to Sky Germany, Inter Miami are exploring a move for Timo Werner, both LA clubs lurking in the background. He had been linked with a move to Red Bulls, but that did not happen. On Saturday with MLS Cup, we've talked a lot about it. We talked about it on Atlanta Soccer tonight, last night, kind of what we expect out of this game. The broadcast is going to have some interesting wrinkles. The league will integrate 4 iPhone 17 Pros directly into the broadcast, including an entire end zone angle shot exclusively on iPhone. Supporter section, coaches, roaming cams, all using Apple's flagship device. The match will stream free on Apple TV and appear live on Times Square's Megazilla screen. This one's cool. I'm intrigued, and man, they're really trying hard to get me to upgrade to the iPhone 17 as well. Let's move over to some other cool stories about the game happening worldwide. Let's go to Spain again. The Spanish women's national team has reaffirmed their position as, I think, the world's best. 3-0 win over Germany in front of 55,800 fans in Madrid to win the UEFA Women's Nations League. 2 goals from Claudia Opina, 1 from Vicky Lopez, and even without Aitana Bonmati, who's going to be out for about 5 months, it sounds like, they looked unstoppable. Let's go to France. Lyon, they have posted a staggering €200 million loss with kind of precursors that it could get worse. Collapsing TV revenue, unregistered transfers, which is a very weird deal involving John Textor and Botafogo with players, 4 or 5 players that were transferred to Lyon, at least according to money, but not according to registrations because they could not be transferred to Lyon because Lyon had a transfer ban at the time. One of those was Thiago Almada. €100 million went from Lyon to Botafogo, reportedly, as part of a capital infusion, whatever. I mean, all kinds of weird shenanigans here. And now that money is coming due, so we'll see how Lyon handles that. They're looking to Botafogo for the money. John Textor's probably looking in the couch. It's tied to factoring deals, and these players never played outside of Almada, who played on loan from Botafogo, never played for Lyon. Michelle Kang, the new president at Lyon, she's got a massive rebuild here in a shrinking French football economy. Positive story out of Brazil. Mirassol, their incredible first year in the Serie A in Brazil wins with a direct berth in the 2026 Copa Libertadores and guaranteed multi-million-dollar prize money that the prize money is more than what they spent on their transfer budget last year. Now, to adapt to CONMEBOL requirements, they have to prepare their stadium, which they're in pretty good shape on. They have to build out a women's team. Good. I like that CONMEBOL is including that as part of this. There's got to be some work at the local airport for international travel. It's one of the great underdog stories in world football right now. Mirassol in a great spot in the Brazilian league as they go into the last 2 rounds of the league. The refill, some rapid-fire headlines as we get caught up. Scott McTominay was named the Serie A Player of the Year for his exploits in leading Napoli to the title. Juve, they have advanced in the Coppa Italia after a Weston McKennie-influenced own goal. Take it where you can get it. Bayer Leverkusen eliminated Dortmund from the German Cup thanks to Ibrahim Massa. Christian Romero scored twice as Spurs stole a 2-2 draw at Newcastle. Everton edged Bournemouth 1-0 behind Jack Grealish. Manchester City with a wild 5-4 win over Fulham. 5-1 lead that turned to 5-4 in the second half. And the Liga MX semifinals start tonight. You can watch on Univision and TUDN. Cruz Azul hosting Tigres. Monterrey hosting Toluca. Two really good games starting at 8 o'clock tonight from Mexico. As we wrap this one up, this is a big week for soccer in Atlanta. U.S. men's national team coming to the Benz in March. Decatur WatchFest building into a massive summer celebration and destination. Barcelona heating up in Spain, and the countdown to Friday's World Cup draw is officially on. Remember, we will be around the corner from everywhere on Friday. John Nelson will start SDHAM at 9:05 in Decatur at their official watch party at Benchwarmers in downtown Decatur. He will toss it to Madison Cruz and I live from the Brewhouse Cafe, America's best soccer bar. We will be on before the draw and then again after the draw with our reaction show. That'll start a little bit after 2 o'clock. We'll have reactions immediately as things happen on our social media platforms at Soccer Down Here. After that show is done, I will go to Colony Square where I will have a special Atlanta Soccer Tonight at 6 o'clock on 92.9 The Game and the Odyssey app, breaking everything down. Maurizio Pochettino and U.S. men's national team players are going to speak to the media at 5 o'clock. I'll have clips of that for you on the show on 92.9. Then I will head to Gainesville where we'll be hanging out for the nightcap, the after party, if you will, for the World Cup draw. We'll have some trivia. We'll have some prizes. It'll be at Nofo Brewing in Gainesville starting at 8 o'clock. Come have a pint of Around the Corner lager with us there. So, World Cup talk all day long on Friday. Honestly, it kind of starts Thursday, which will cross over into Friday. The intersection on 92.9 The Game with me and Noel White and Miles Williams. We'll be talking about it after NFL football on the station on Thursday night, and that'll just get us all started for all the chaos on Friday. It's going to be one of the biggest days in Atlanta soccer history. We'll take you through every single second of it. Thank you for being part of it. Thank you for listening. We'll be back tomorrow with another cup of Morning Espresso presented by Oglethorpe University.